welcome back to episode 17.
I'm glad you're keeping track because I am not. Welcome back to episode
17?
Whatever.
Maybe 17, 18. Yes, and then our big one, our big 20 is coming up.
Ooh.
We've got big plans for it.
I feel like I'm losing my virginity all over again.
Isn't it exciting? I'll be wearing my finest threads for you.
I will be wearing my Adam Sandler costume because that seems to be the only thing I live in. Like, literally, today is like the first day I put trousers on in a very long time.
Yeah. It's the first time you, I think, show up to
Work.
recording. Yeah, work.
This is the first time you show up to work.
Work? To recording without, like, in, like, jeans. I was
Literally.
expecting you to be in, like, booty shorts, like a big shirt.
I'm dressed.
She's dressed.
I'm dressed. And do you know what?
I'm proud of you.
No.
Oh.
That's more than I can say for some people.
Okay, anyway, so...
We're on, like, a little bit of a mad one. Well, I am.
Yeah.
Because basically, there's three things at play. I've seen people today. So that's one. I think I lost count after lunchtime. I have just had my fourth coffee, I think. So I had one at like 4 o'clock before I finished work. And then because I was like, oh man, I'm tired. And then Girly Pop next to me was late to film. So she was like, oh, you're going to have a coffee? I was like, no, I've just had one at work, like, literally, like, 2 hours ago. And then I went for a wee, and I was like,
I'll take a coffee.
I'm tired now. And now we're into overdrive. I've just done an audition for America's Got Talent doing an interpretive dance to Taylor Swift's Love Story.
Yep.
And why it's America's Got Talent, girls, gays and theys, I don't know.
We will never know.
Because it's on Freeview all the time, on repeat.
For fuck's sake.
Anyway,
Today's
topic is siblings.
Siblings.
Get over it.
Siblings. How many siblings do you have?
Just one. One's enough.
One's
One's really enough.
Fair.
Do you know what my mum says all the time? She's literally like, you two were accidents.
Thanks,
She
Mom.
just blatantly says that. And goes, happy accidents. And I'm like, you've just said it. She goes, I wouldn't change a thing. And I'm like, I
Yes,
would.
you would.
I was like, I'd quite like to be planned.
Yeah.
But also...
A contract might be nice.
But also I feel like whenever you try and plan things, like...
They never
they
work
never
out.
work out. So I feel like planning to have children is probably the worst idea you could ever have.
You and I were born in, like, close dates. We were, like, probably, like,
A year
New
apart.
Year's.
I think we're probably literally a year apart.
No, we're a year apart, but what I'm saying is, like, we're conceived around New Year's Day.
Oh no, gross.
So,
It's disgusting to think about, right?
yeah.
Anyway,
Vile.
not really what we're talking about. So, I have one sibling. That's more than enough for me.
I have 2 younger siblings, and it's more than enough for me. I want to change it for the world.
I would. I'd get rid of him.
I think, like, now that they're
I wouldn't.
grown...
I love you.
I think now that they're grown up, like, a little more tolerant of their nonsense.
Thing
Because
is,
they
though,
make me giggle.
the thing is, though, being the younger sibling, myself, I am the nonsense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he never has nonsense, my lovely brother.
Yeah.
But when we were kids, it was the same thing.
Yeah, fair.
So I would get annoyed because he wouldn't put up with my nonsense, basically.
Yeah.
So, like, our relationship when we were kids, me and my brother, you couldn't get 2 more opposite children.
Yeah.
Like, polar opposite children.
Mm.
He's boring, I'm fun. Love you! No, he's not. He's logical,
Not emotional.
No, do you know what it is?
Isn't he a Cancer?
He is a Cancer, yeah.
Oh, then never
No,
mind.
do you know what it is? Like, he is actually emotional, but it's very inward.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, he would want to tell you something about emotions and stuff like that, and then just not.
Fair.
He'd think better of it. So yeah, basically very, very, very different children. So we literally just always used to clash and have arguments and stuff like that. And then we only actually got close when both of us moved out of the home.
Interesting you say that. It's the same with my siblings. We got really close after I had left the house and I was living away. And so, thanks iMessage for like, deepening that relationship with my siblings. But I think also a lot of the times, because I am only 3 years apart to my next sibling.
And
So-
then how many are they apart to the next one?
2 between them.
Okay.
And so when I was going through my teenage drama, not even drama, but just life as a teenager.
Being a teenager,
Just being a teenager, because I'm the oldest sibling, I didn't really have anyone to guide me. So I was navigating the world by myself. And so they were like not understanding of what I was
What you were
going through.
Yeah, because you're kids.
Versus when my sister went through it,
Yeah.
I
You
was
were
there.
like, yeah.
And I was like, no, I completely get it. I completely
I
get
get
it.
that. And it's hard as well. Like, I think you could have, like, the nicest family home environment in the world. Does it mean you're going to get on? No. Like,
Sibling fights are so normal, and my mum makes
And they're
it
so-
feel...
do you know, it's like, actually, like, looking back on what me and my brother used to fight about, like, tragic.
They're really fucking stupid, but, like, my mum used to make it, like, seem like no one else fault. She's like, I didn't used to fight with my sisters.
Oh, bollocks.
You're a liar.
Bollocks.
Liar, actress, get the fuck out.
My mum has...
Love Island's gonna come for me.
Yeah, dude, please don't sue us, Love Island.
Big fan.
Big fan, love your work. No, my mum has the funniest story with her brother. So basically, my mum
Oh, your mum
was...
has a brother?
Yeah. So my mum was like Mrs. Perfect. Like, could never put
I
a
feel
foot...
like she still is.
Yeah, she is. Bitch.
Hater.
Could never, ever, ever put a foot wrong. And basically, like, my uncle, her older brother, was a bit of a tearaway. Anyway, this is hilarious. She's playing in her room with her, like, little doll. So it's like, you know, like a baby Annabelle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But basically, their version in, like, the 60s and 70s was called Tiny Tears.
Oh, fuck, that's horrifying.
Same concept, though. A baby.
That's
A toy
horrifying.
baby. Anyway, she's playing in there with her.
Oh, stop it.
My brother comes running in.
Her brother.
Her brother comes running in with Action Man on on a toy truck, which is called a Tonka toy.
Yeah.
So it's a big toy
The
truck.
donka-doink.
He fucking snatches Tiny Tears out. Action Man takes Tiny Tears away.
Oh, stop it.
She's screaming the house down, runs to her mum, my nanny, and goes, take my Tiny Tears away. And in that time, he had just enough time to draw on the Tiny Tears with permanent marker.
No.
Lots of, like, sutures and scar. You know how, like, kids draw a scar, like a line with, like, slits with it. Gives it and goes, fine, you can have her back. I didn't want her anyway. And he gives her back to her, but it's just covered. And he's done, like, a big permanent marker, black eye.
Oh my
like,
god.
basically just drawn all over it. And I fucking love that story.
Do you have a story like that with your brother, or like you have terrorized your brother in that way?
No. We weren't those kind of siblings, so I would terrorize my parents.
Okay.
And my brother would just go, oh, for God's sake.
Fair.
Yeah.
Nice. I remember my sister used to like scratch DVDs of like. the
What, on
movie-
purpose?
Yeah. She's like, oh, you like this movie?
No!
My sister was a menace.
That's hilarious.
My sister was a menace. She, when we were younger, she like got mad at me and she got my glasses and ran them over with her bike.
That is
I
iconic.
wish I was lying.
That's
But
camp.
then the next time, my dad, I think one of the few last years that we were in Spain.
I love how she's the youngest
She's the middle.
sibling. Oh, is she middle?
She's the
I
middle.
thought she was the youngest.
Nope.
Anyway.
She acts like it.
I
and
think that's hilarious that she was the younger sibling then and bullied you.
Yeah, but now I bully her. Anyways,
Nice.
but yeah, the last time she thought she was slick too. My dad got a car from his company, and so my sister scratched my name on the car
In what? With a key?
with a key.
No. Fuck, I sound like such a good child. Damn.
Yeah, my sister was a fucking menace. Like she thought she was slick, and my parents were like, "Well, you would never do that, so it was obviously your sister."
Oh my god.
They didn't even
that's
come to me.
Savage.
Because we were all coming back from like the cinema, and like we all saw it on the car, and we were like, "Who was that?" And my sister straight went, "Oh, it was her," and I was like,
That's hilarious.
Liar.
That's bad. That's like
Liar.
thousands of pounds worth of damage.
"Liar."
Iconic. Love it.
Yeah, she's a menace. She's better now. I think all her actions have finally caught up to her, and the karma's come back.
Well,
So, yeah.
that's hilarious.
No.
No, I just used to terrorize my parents.
Now I'm the one who
Because-
bullies her.
Because we were never that close, we just used to avoid each other.
Because what's your age gap?
Just 2 years.
It's just 2 years.
Yeah, I know,
I feel
right?
like your brother's always is like,
Yeah, he came out of the womb middle-aged.
for fuck's sake.
Like, literally,
I think it's just because he was already out of uni when we first met.
yeah.
It felt like he was 30.
To be
But in
fair,
reality,
though,
he was, like,
to be
still
fair
in his
though,
20s.
he had, like, he wasn't, like, a terror, because his like, terrorizing was actually really funny.
Yeah.
So, like, I was, like, a baby, so I couldn't run away or anything. But basically, we were on holiday, I think it's Cornwall. Anyway, we're on a beach. My mum's just fussing over me. He meets another little boy on the beach. He meets another little boy. I love how I remember my brother's, like, fuck-ups, but not mine. There's too many to count. So he meets a little boy on the beach. They're playing. My mum can see them. And then she turns to me to fuss over me for a bit. And then he's gone. He's literally gone. She's like looking, shouting, where are you? Da, 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 da. He's not answering.
Oh shit, I hate that.
She literally was having kittens. So she was like to my dad, you go look for him, and because I need to stay. I was a baby.
Yeah.
She was like, I need to stay with the baby because she
Yeah.
can't be running around. Like I was in the strap, like
Yeah.
she couldn't run around with that. So she was like, I need to stay here. Then she sees another woman over there calling whatever his name was, like Tom, whatever. He's not called Tom. I don't know his fucking name. But she was like Tom, and she was like, are you looking for a little boy? And she was like, yes, I'm looking for a little boy. She was like, I think they might be together. So they look together.
Where was your brother?
They find him in a little bay, right?
Oh my god.
What was the bay called?
It's like Wanker Bay or something.
Boobies Bay.
Oh,
You
for
guessed it.
fuck's sake.
So they ran off because they saw a sign that said
Boobies.
Boobies Bay.
Men need to be abolished.
And I'm just sat there, don't even know my
A
ABCs,
child.
going... Yeah, no,
God.
we were... I think, interestingly, when we got to school age, we fought. But it was just over stupid stuff. Like,
It was very silly stuff.
it was just so... It was like, I want to watch TV. No. Like, that's kind of like the only thing that we would really...
Covering the TV controls.
Girl, no. I... what was it?
Well, like
Okay.
Barbies as well.
So it wasn't. No, he left my dolls alone. To be honest,
See, that to be fair, I wonder how that dynamic would have been if we only had one boy and one girl, but we have two
girls,
girls and a fruity boy. So
No, he left my dolls alone.
that's nice.
But basically, what was it? He put on Star Wars, and I was like, I don't fucking want to watch Star Wars.
Yeah.
He was like, I want to watch Star Wars. Just come out and do it, Mum's boy for me. I was like, fine. So he goes. I'm like, fine. Walk off. He goes to get the DVD, and by that point, I've taken the remote. Where's the remote? It's gone. And
It's gone.
It's gone. He's like, where's the remote? We're kicking, punching, all this stuff. And he's like, where's the remote? I'm like, I don't know, I haven't touched it. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Fight. And then I can't remember what happened. Oh, I pushed him off me, grabbed the remote from wherever I'd put it, ran upstairs. He followed me to come and get me because also I had it. And then I literally threw it out the window.
Oh. You're vile. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can watch Star Wars. I was like, you're not making me watch Star Wars. But yeah, we kind of like, other than that, we kind of just like left each other alone.
It was just silly little shit.
It was just like, I'm watching TV, no you're not, I'm fucking watching TV. I think that was it, really. But also as well, like, we went to the same school, which was kind of difficult, because he was obviously like head boy, got all A's, da-da-da-da. I would like walk into a room and they'd be like, oh, you're the sister. And I'm like, fuck's sake. So, do you know what I used to love? So literally like, basically, I think we discussed this in another episode, but basically they would call my mum being like, you've got to come pick her up. She's being a fucking terror. She's being an absolute terror.
Terrible twos at 27.
Terrible. I'm not 27. I'm 25. Literally, they'd be like, no, the terrible twos at fucking 15. They'd be like, you have to come and get her. She's being a fucking arsehole. And then my mum would be like, no. I'm at work. You deal with it.
Discipline up.
Literally, they're like, isn't that? They were like, she was like, you can't handle a 15-year-old.
Your mum.
She was like, I'm in a hearing. Fuck off.
Yeah, legit.
She literally, they would call her. They would finally get through when she was like on a lunch, and she's like,
Hello?
I'm on my lunch break. Fuck off. Go
Yeah.
away. Anyway, so then what they would do, which I don't personally agree with, they would get my brother
You know what?
To come
they
and-
did that to my sister.
to come and sit with me
Yup.
in the head of year's office. And
Yup.
I'm like, what good is that going to do? We're just going to hate each other more now, you dickhead.
That happened with my sister. 'Cause my sister, so I was in year 4, she was in year 1, and the classrooms were like, her door to the classroom was like,
This is in primary school.
primary school. So there were 2 buildings, but my door was like, there was a hallway that would lead to year 1, which would face the courtyard. And I went to the bathroom, and I see my sister coming out of my class with my teacher, and I was like, hello? They're like, oh, we're looking for you because your sister did something, your parents can't come pick her up, so she has to sit with you in class.
The fuck? I'd love that.
And I'd write, and like, we'll write your parents a letter, what's happening, and I was like, what's happened? And apparently she like signaled to a girl, and she was like, I was like, this bitch, bro, she's gotta, like, no, like, she's a fucking idiot. It's just
Love
like
that.
something, like, I understand being a kid, but you're just an idiot. She's gonna find this and be like, so this is what you think about me. Yes. Girl. I've told you to your face.
I think as well, it's just because we're just too different. We just, like, when we
are very
when we were
different,
younger, we just could not find any commonalities or anything to agree on.
Yeah, I think what we say is if we were all in the same year in school, would we be friends? I think my brother and I would be friends. My
Your
sister
brother's quite
would
similar
not.
to you, isn't he?
My sister would not.
Oh
be
yeah, my
friends with
brother
anyone.
would hate me if we were in the same year.
We would
He'd
not
be
be
like, that
friends.
girl is so annoying.
Like, you're
But,
just
like,
horrible.
Where we are now, Bezzy Maras. Literally Bezzy Maras.
Yeah, I think like they're like my favorite people in the world.
We just
They
bully.
annoy
We
me.
just bully my mum.
We just bully my mom. We bully my dad.
No, my mum, because she's just so easy to bully.
Leave her alone. No, to be fair, we did have a massive conversation about your mom earlier.
Yeah, no, we hate my mum at the moment.
At the moment.
Just this is the thing. She's just like, she is my best friend in the entire world. I love her with all of my heart. She is the love of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just too particular.
Yeah.
And like my partner jokes, he's like, it's so funny. So basically, we went to Cornwall like, lol again. Cornwall like a couple of months back, and literally, so we're all just sat. She was like, so the night before, she was like, just chill. We're just gonna have a bit of a walk. They love walking, by the way, but like,
The legs.
and they were like, just chill. We're just gonna have a bit of a walk. Like, no muss, no stress, no fuss.
God.
We're all sat at breakfast, and she's just, I call it fanning around, but basically she's like shuffling bits, cleaning and stuff like that. She's like, guys, this is just too much ambling for my liking. Can we all just hurry up, please? I want to get out. I want to go. The dogs want to go. And we're all just sat there with our bacon sarnies like hanging out of our mouth
Hello?
like, what the fuck?
You
Like,
said we could chill.
Literally, but the thing is though, whenever my mum's like, "Oh, just chill," she means just chill till 8 o'clock, and we need
In
to
the
be,
morning.
and we need to be gone by 9. That's her.
You need
Like,
to run a marathon before I wake
that's
up.
that's literally her idea of like a chill morning is. Oh, I slept until 8, had some breakfast, and
Which,
now I'm,
to be
and
fair, I am the type of person today. I slept in until 8, but I also understand like
we're all just sat there eating our bacon sandwiches, and literally not eat like she is the only one. Not even like no one is on her side with this. We're literally just sat there, all of us, except her, are eating bacon
was
sandwich.
your
bacon.
brother's girlfriend there as well?
Yeah, she was.
A poor woman.
I know.
Oh.
That was like her first holiday, I guess. with us.
No.
I bully her as well. It's fine.
Oh, she seems lovely though.
She is lovely, but I just bully her. It's funny.
Okay, great.
She's a Cancer as well, so just bully her.
Oh
Her and my brother
God.
are like 3 days apart. Well, 3 days and a couple of years.
Who's older? She is.
Yeah, he fucking loves an older woman. He's a weirdo.
For fuck's sake.
Oedipus complex, or is it Freud?
I
Whichever
don't
one
know.
where you want to fuck your mum.
Oh god.
Anyway,
Oh.
anyway, and
I think it is Freud.
And the thing is though, she only listens to my partner because my partner's very calm.
Yeah.
So me, my brother, and my dad, we're all just like, will you calm the fuck down, you anal bitch? Do you want to just? I can't say what we really say to her because it's not very nice, but literally I'm like calm down, you anal bitch, like chill. And then but she only listens to my partner because he's very calm, bringing in that Taurus energy. He's like, wow, we'll just have us bacon saunas and then we'll be ready to go. All right, we're all dressed. It's fine. He does not talk like that at all. But he's a Geordie, but he's got more of a Durham accent. But I can't do a Durham accent. He's like, wow, it's all right. Just chill out. We'll be ready in a moment. Alright, we're just gonna have his bacon saunas, we're just gonna get dressed. Everybody's showered, everybody's ready. We're just having his bacon saunas, alright? And she's like, okay. She's like, feel better now, thank you.
Oh god.
She's like, you know, when like a kettle's boiled and you take it off the hob, it's like,
yeah.
And I'm like, why do you only listen to him? She's like, because he's nice to me. Because he's nice to me, you won't bully me. So that's now what me and my brother just bond on, just.
She only listens to partners.
She only listens to partners, but also as well, not my brother's partner, because she's she's not highly strong, but like, he does, he just has this very calming energy. Like,
does.
even my dog, Audrey, she loves him.
I love him too.
He is, isn't he though? He's just so calm.
I love him. Mum and Dad. Anyway,
we went to a wedding the other day and somebody was like, oh, Posh and Bex have arrived. I'm like,
period.
the fuck? I was like, ooh, yeah. I was like, do you want a drink? I'll buy you a drink.
Buy a drink.
Do you want a bottle? It's fine. Literally, I was like, who the fuck? Like, the fuck?
Who is
I was like, thank you, but also...
Thanks.
But yeah, that's where me and my brother are at now. Buddies, rave partners, double daters, or we go out as like a 4.
Which I can't wait to do with my siblings.
I hate double dates. It's just that
I hate them too. I mean, I've never been on one, but like, I see why I would hate them.
I think with friends, it's like awkward, horrible, and disgusting. But with like your sibling and their partners, it's different.
Yeah, because you're gonna eventually, one of you will like end up marrying, so it's just like a glimpse into the future.
But also as well, like my brother and my partner just end up bullying me.
See, the moment that my boyfriend turns around and bullies me, it's over.
I give them what for, but like they just gang up. Because I think that...
See, because my sister can give it but can't take it.
I can take a joke. But I think my brother, not that he sees my partner as a brother, but they've got like a bit of a bromance kind of thing.
That's
kind of thing going.
Yeah.
And so like they just gang up on me. They don't do it to my brother's girlfriend because she's sensitive. Fucking cancer.
Oh my god. See, I think we're not there with my siblings because they are younger, and they also
it's hard, isn't it?
both recently came out, so they're like, they're just exploring, they're enjoying their youth.
I remember my youth.
I remember my youth. Which one? So, hello. You're right.
Yeah, I have a piece of dry skin.
Oh, yum. Anyway,
podcast insight.
So, we've already done this one. But basically, like how...
Good mediation.
Yeah, thanks.
This is why I do it, girls, gays, and theys.
Listen, we're going to cut this. Anyway, minute 20...
Shit!
Minute 23 to 24. So.
My sibling's personality, yes. My brother he's Cancer. He's very inwardly emotional. He can be quite sensitive, and he's very, like... sees everybody's perspective. Like, he's not your stereotypical man, but like,
love that.
He's first of all, he's in finance, so already it's interesting because he's got a big personality, but if you can believe it, it's not as big as mine. Like, it's strange to say. Because he is gregarious, he is confident, he does talk, he's sociable, he talks to people, but
He's
I
just
guess
a normal
he's
person.
a normal person, and I'm just an
Loud.
an arsehole. Yeah, he's not that loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice person. Whereas I'm a creative, I'm probably a bit outrageous, bit of a bullshitter.
She's a cunt.
Yeah, he's not a cunt, I am. There you go.
I think my siblings are... My sister and I are completely different, even though we're both Libras.
It's so weird. I feel like you and your sister would be like the same person.
Nope. We're two opposite ends, and I think it baffles my parents, because they're not firm believers of, like, horoscopes, but, like, we're only 5 days apart.
There's got to be some truth to it. People studied this shit for years. Like, it's an ancient...
Yeah, but I think I think the difference lies in her Scorpio rising.
Is she an October Libra?
Yeah, we're 5 days apart.
Weird.
So it's like, we're so different, and she's just very... I think the tables have turned. I think now she's more... When she was younger, she used to be very outspoken. She used to be very rebellious. She used to be...
me.
Yeah. Very similar personalities, but... Yeah, just you weren't half as much of a menace.
Which is what like strikes me as weird, because my mum goes on about how much of a twat I was when I was a child so much.
Bitch.
I might just turn to her and say,
Well,
you don't know the half of it, sis.
You don't know half of it. So I think now that my sister is quieter, she's more of a homebody now.
You do just chill out as an adult, don't you?
Yeah, but now I used to be very relaxed. I was very shy when I've grown up, and now I'm the outspoken one, calling out the generational, like, breaking generational bounds and
Jesus Christ.
calling out the activism.
Bet you're fun at parties, aren't you?
I am. I am so fun.
Generational activism!
Correct.
Shut the fuck up!
No, but I'm not scared to call people out.
No, I know.
I'm not scared to call people out. I'm a fun time. And, like, I remember, and that is fairly recent, within, like, the last 7 years.
But I think as well, it depends on your experiences. Like, if you haven't necessarily been exposed to what I would say is standing your ground, placing a firm boundary in place, and having it succeed, you would be really scared to do it.
Yeah, and that's... I think it wasn't until I moved out of the house and I sort of was fucked in the arse by life and had to learn the right way, where I came out and I was like...
I literally thought you were going to stop at fucked in the arse.
Great.
I thought she was like, I moved out of the house and I got fucked in the arse, and I'm like...
She's a woman!
That will make or break a person, really.
Yeah. I think it wasn't until I moved out and I was like, oh shit, like I actually have to
do this.
Do this. It wasn't until I sort of set boundaries with my parents and I was like
It's
not
hard
scared.
Though, isn't it?
It's hard because I was the first one. I'm the oldest one, so all their parenting skills were tested on me.
Yeah.
And so I was the one with a lot of rules.
It's difficult though, because like 9 times out of 10, the first child is the golden child. So your parents are like, this is so easy, let's have another one.
See,
and then
I think
there's a reason there's only me and my brother.
Yeah, I think my younger brother's the golden child, because when shit was difficult, he was too young to know, like, be essentially affected by it. Like, he doesn't remember my parents being broke, because he was in fucking preschool. But I remember my parents being broke and having to ration gasoline.
That's fun.
And so it's weird how...
I'd love to be inside his brain.
Yeah, like, both my siblings think of their childhood as quite, like, privileged. I'm not saying that we weren't privileged, but I do remember half of, like...
The struggles.
I do remember the struggles more vividly than they do. And I think that also set me up to be more reserved, because I saw my parents suffering.
Yeah.
And I could understand what my parents were, like, struggling with. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll be nice. And I won't. But now it's like, I bought a house. There's money. Let me be mean to ya. Let me tell you what I think.
I think as well, interestingly, so I would definitely say I'm the more spoiled child. 100%.
Yes, you are.
Because I'm just a baby. Just a little baby. But also as well, so I would say that I'm the more spoiled child, but my brother had more freedom than me, just because he was a man. So it's
don't get me started on the fucking...
No!
I don't want to do it anymore.
So that was kind of the toss-up. So I got, like, lots of things paid for me, lots of things bought, da-da-da-da. but like he would get to stay out later with his friends. He
Yeah.
would get to start drinking earlier, albeit I literally started drinking at like 13, 14. Nonetheless, he got to do it earlier. Anyway.
Okay, Maura, relax.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ew, David.
I think that's where my sister and I would differ, because I genuinely did not have friends, because we moved around a lot. I was like, I just don't want to bother opening up. And so I wouldn't go out. The few times that I did have, like, an outing of some sort, they wouldn't, like, they'd let me, they would let me stay out a little later, because I never went out. But my sister would go out all the time. And they'd be like, oh, but she gets to stay out until, like, 12:30, and I get to stay out until 11.
I definitely think that shaped aspects of our personality. So my brother was much more resourceful, much more independent, like, whereas I'm literally like, oh, my mum and dad will pay for it. Well, maybe my mum. But also as well, me and my mum were closer, so we would go shopping together, and she'd be like, I'll just get it for you, or we would talk more. So, like, again, she would know me on a deeper level, and know that if she was spoiling me for whatever reason, oh, I'll buy you this or I'll buy you this, she'd know like the reasons behind it, kind of thing. So I think that's just kind of where we differ. But I think there's definitely skill sets that my brother has that I don't have, but because he was maybe given more freedom, or because I was more spoiled, or whatever. So I think that definitely has like shaped our personalities in weird and wonderful ways.
I think for me it's the way that I see that now is the survival of it, because I had to essentially become a carer for my siblings at 13.
Yeah.
So I learned how to cook very, like, a kid should not be in the kitchen. Like, I look at my 13-year-old cousins and I'm like, what the fuck?
I was cooking at 13 though, to be fair.
Yeah, but like, I was like essentially full-time care, because my dad didn't living in the country and my mum was working 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't working, she was in bed depressed. Like, I had to be like the mother. Bitch, I'm a mother.
How do you think that's like affected the relationship with your sister?
I don't think it
brother and sister, sorry.
I don't think it affected it, because I think if anything it brought us closer now that we actually sit and like reflect. But in like, I think it's hard for them to see me as I think now that my parents are more let me finish the fucking sentence. Now that my parents are more present, because they're obviously like business owners and they have their own schedule.
It's much more freedom,
it's easier for us to experience things as siblings, but for the longest time, they saw me as a mother.
That's hard. And
so they wouldn't tell me things, because they think I'd tell my mom, even though I'm their sibling.
Yeah.
They see me as a motherly figure.
You rat.
So I think now, I find a lot of my behavior now is, I don't want to say childish is not the word, but I'm doing a lot of things I wish I did when I was the time, I didn't start drinking until I was 18. Why? Because I was taking care of my siblings. So I drank more when I got here. And I, like, almost let it out of control. Like, I find it with cooking now, because I grew up cooking for everyone.
Yeah.
I now hate cooking for I don't hate it, but I'd rather not cook for other people.
See, I love it.
I'd rather just go to dinner, because my entire life has been cooking for everyone else.
Yeah. I think basically I grew up and I saw how happy that cooking made my mum. Would always have people over. She would always do a meal. She would always have dinner parties and stuff like that. And I saw how, like I said, happy that made her. And I was like, oh, actually. So again, like you say, it's interesting, because I was in the kitchen probably about a similar age, like maybe 12 or 13. And I was like helping her with stuff like that. But it's interesting how you sort of look at it, and we were in the kitchen for completely different reasons.
And don't get me wrong, I did see, while things were really good, I did see like that side of like, oh, my parents having people over. But I think the jump from having these like dinners with friends changed to, oh shit, I need to learn how to cook. Yeah. Otherwise, no one's gonna eat. So I think it's sort of, I think now I'm slowly coming to terms with it and like opening up that, like, I love cooking for myself. Yeah. Because it's the first time I'm able to cook for myself in my own space, in essentially
For yourself.
like this year that I've been in this flat now has been the first time I can cook. I've like genuinely enjoyed cooking because I'm cooking for me in my space without having uni flatmates like leave the kitchen and stay, or cooking for my siblings because they need to eat. And it's like, I think now that, as I was saying, I think now that my parents are present, we see each other more as siblings.
Have they ever sort of spoken to you about, you know, what it was like? Have you ever reminisced with your siblings about what it was like growing up together?
I think we really don't, because we all live, we're all quite narcissistic. We're all quite selfish, and we all are quite, we've discussed the difference in how we see, we've discussed different memories, because for me, I was like, oh, I think this is the first year where I'm actually going on holiday, traveling to a new country, and it's not because it's the first time, like, I think I said it, I was like, oh, this is my first time traveling to another country, and it's not to go home.
Yeah.
And my parents was like, well, my brother and my sister were like, well, these summers were really good. I was like, because you didn't have to pay for everything, and you would spend 2 months in the pool, and your nan would pay for everything. But I went home once in 2015 for a week because I sobbed to my parents.
Yeah.
That's not a holiday. That's not traveling for fun and like getting to know other countries. So my sister was like, stop victimizing yourself. I was like, it's not victimizing myself. That's just my
view,
perspective.
Yeah.
Because I was very aware of what my parents were going through. But they didn't see it as they saw it as a holiday. They saw it as a treat.
I think, like, it's interesting. Like, I can see your perspective very, very easily. There have been many, 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 many times. As I said, I'm a good person at seeing other people's perspective. I can do that quite easily. I'm very empathetic. However, like, I don't know why, for some reason, it is hard to see a sibling's perspective. I think because you're both in the same situation, aren't you?
Yeah.
So when me and my brother, we've kind of reminisced on this together, and basically our dad was working away a lot and stuff like that, and I was kind of like, oh, whatever. I was like,
okay, bye.
I was like, cool.
Bring gifts.
No, not even joking. I was like, did you bring me anything?
Yeah.
That was it for me. And when me and my dad are the same person. So when I was younger, like, we struggled to get on, but I kind of just got over that because I was like, fuck you, you're never here. Like, you know, he'd come home, we'd have an argument, then he'd go again. Cool, fine.
Great.
Cool. But interestingly, I've reminisced with my brother about that, you know, our dad working away a lot, and it was kind of, he didn't necessarily struggle with that, but he has interestingly said before that, albeit he does see our dad as a role model, that he's not the best one. It's just that he's the only one, and, you know, our dad is a tough old northern man, single parent household kind of thing. Like, he struggled, like, in general, not necessarily like but like just in general, like growing up in the north, single parent household, like his mum was tough, like he struggled and stuff like that. So he struggled with his emotions, he struggled with communication, and my brother was like, I can see that now in myself as an adult. I'm trying to remove that generational
trauma.
Not even trauma, because
it wasn't things that have been passed down.
Yeah, generational passed down kind of thing. He's like, I'm trying really, really, really hard to remove it. But, you know, and he was saying sort of like having a dad, when you're younger, you want your dad to be there, you want your dad to like...
Yeah.
And I was just like, he was saying he struggled basically because his father figure was not there. And when his father figure was there, he was a bit closed off, a bit stoic, not in like a negative way, but just a traditional bloke. And so he was like, oh, I struggle with that. And I was like, well, why don't you just get over it? I did, exactly. Yeah. And he was like, you're a woman. You had your mom.
Yeah, but
so it's so weird how, like, because you grew up in exactly the same situation and you may have come out of it differently to them, you're like, blinkers, can't see it, won't see it.
Yeah, no, I completely understand, because I think when we were really going, because if you really think about it, I was 13 when shit hit the fan. My brother and my sister were 10 and 8.
Yeah.
Like, do you even know how to wipe your own ass at that age? You know?
To a
so
degree.
I think that's where, if this would have happened later in life, I'd be like, you're just not listening to what I'm saying and you're being an idiot. But, like, they had no awareness about life.
Yeah.
So it's not even like, you're right, I'm wrong. I was just like, I'm very aware that you were young, and I'm not going to put it against you, but also don't put it against me because I had different experiences.
It's kind of like, somebody said this to me, I can't remember who it was. Maybe I said it to myself. Anyway, somebody said it to me. It's like you're watching two different films, but with the same actor.
Yeah.
So I'm watching Titanic, he's watching Shutter Island. They've both got Leonardo DiCaprio in. They're two fucking different films, and that's like I don't know who said that. If you're listening to this and you said this to me, you know who you are. Credit. If not, I'm claiming it. It's mine.
Yeah.
Like, and also as well, it's really, really hard when you're sort of bringing up family, not necessarily family issues, but things that happen in the family, because it's like, one of you may see it completely differently, but yet that's your mum, that's your dad, that's your nan, that's whoever kind of thing, and it's hard. And we're very of the family that's like, blood is so much thicker than water, family above everything else, like, like we were discussing this earlier. Basically, I have to go home to look after my dogs this weekend. I was like, there's loads of train strikes on. I texted my mum like, oh, I'm not sure I'm gonna make it. She was like, oh, I would really appreciate if you did. I was like, right, okay, cool. I'll figure out a way to make it work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I was never like that before. Interestingly, I was very, very selfish as a child, but you are as a child. Children are inherently selfish. Just point
See,
blank.
but I wasn't. I think that's a difference.
But I think
I'm selfish.
But I
because I've learned
think
how to set boundaries.
you might not realise it, but you may be in different aspects.
Yeah, fair enough.
As in, you could be selfish with your emotions, for example, as a child.
Correct. Yes, I was selfish.
So like, children are inherently selfish.
Yeah.
Because as a child, your sort of empathy, your ability to see another perspective, your ability to point blank understand emotions as a whole,
it's just
not there, because that's what comes later. That's what comes with more life experiences. So you may not have been selfish with your toys, you may not have been selfish with your parents' time, you may not have been selfish with things of that nature, but you will have been selfish in other ways. And that's
fair enough.
But that can also be why siblings clash.
Yeah.
As a whole.
Fair.
So like, maybe when me and my brother were younger, I was selfish with my behaviour. He was selfish with the TV. Love you, bro. But something along the lines of...
I haven't seen him recently.
Sorry?
I haven't seen your brother recently.
I know, he does tend to hide away.
Bitch.
No, he doesn't. He's
does.
very social.
He just knows our friend group will come for him because he's hot.
Jesus Christ. Stop. He loves it, though. He fucking loves it. See, that's another thing. Like, he loves being told that he's attractive, but gets really awkward about it. So our communal friend... is a homosexual man, and he really, really fancies my brother.
And your dad.
Jesus Christ. And anyway, and we're just an attractive family, girls, gays, and those.
They are. They are a very attractive
just
family.
you don't know what we look like, but just take my word for it.
Take my word for it. It's been 7 years,
but
and I'm still in love with each and every single family member.
Look at us. Look at us. Can't we? But like he goes all bright red, and he's like,
It's like a little
but yeah, exactly,
giggly.
But deep down, he's like, fuck yeah. No, but like, interestingly, I think it's like me and my brother's differences, which is why we probably get on now. Because I think if we were the same person, we'd fucking hate. Interesting, I think if we were the same person before, we'd get on really well. Same person now, hate each other. Different people now, get on like a fucking house on fire.
See, my brother and I get on like a house on fire, and we're quite similar, which is why it's like
that I can believe.
How are we the same?
Right.
But I think it's because we're both chill. My dad and my sister don't get along.
Even now.
They do. My sister's just like very emotional. My dad's just not emotional at all. So there's a lot of like communication
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But my dad, my brother, and I are just so chill. We like our fun, but we're just like, yeah. And I think that's my brother and I are just like, yeah, Target, Starbucks, and just chill. Like, yeah, and we'll spend 8 hours outside just chilling. Like I think we're both very relaxed, and there's no tension. And if there is, it's like, you bitch.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, no, you're a bitch.
It's so weird.
Do you want food?
Like, so me and my dad, when we were younger, never saw eye to eye. Me and my mum would get on sometimes, and then other times not, because I was just a shithead.
Yeah.
Basically, my brother got on well with my mum, just because he was just a well-behaved child.
Yeah.
And again, he got on with my dad, but like, again, that father-son relationship was kind of
overall you get along.
distant.
Yeah.
But like, now as an adult, me and my mum are busy marriers. My brother and my mum get along, but interestingly he finds her a bit nosy. So she wants to know everything and anything about his life, and he's just like, no mum, I want to keep things
private.
A few things private. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she's got there, but it's taken her a bit of time to get there.
Yeah.
Because she didn't understand it at first. And I think that not necessarily created a rift, but there was a bit of distance before, and, you know, my mum was talking to me sort of going, why does he not want to share this? Why? I was like, he's a man.
Boy.
He's a man, like, you know, he doesn't
Men don't
have
talk.
to. And I think as well, she kind of saw, again, same thing. We're watching the same film, there's 2 different actors. So she saw that me and her tell each other everything. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Mom, I got my period. Mom, this,
yeah.
Bessie Maris, like, so she was like, Bessie Maris. So she was literally like, oh, I'm going to have that with my son. And it's like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. And I think in some part that has kind of made him slightly more, not insular, but just slightly more cautious about sort of what he tells her, and to be fair, and to a degree my dad, but nobody tells my dad anything. Like, literally nobody tells my dad anything. And interestingly, it's so funny, when
we do, he forgets.
No, when we do, he gets really, like, smug about it.
Yeah.
So, a fun story, basically. We were at my cousin's engagement party. My brother told me and my mum, oh, I'm going to Portugal. We're like, oh my god, amazing. Who are you going with? He's like, oh, I'm just going by myself. Like,
liar.
I think I've told you this story.
No, you haven't.
Okay.
But like, I can read your brother from a mile away.
Yeah, that's the thing. He is so easily readable. Anyway, he's like, I'm just going by myself. Like, my sister went traveling on her own. I want to try it out. I just want to, you know, go on my own schedule, do a bit of solo exploring. We're like, okay, fine. Blah, 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 blah. He has a few drinks in him and then tells my dad, first mistake, who he's really going with.
Stop.
And then, so he's going with a girl who's not his girlfriend. He's like seeing her. There's a reason he didn't tell my mum, because she would be like, I want to meet her. I want her national insurance number. What do her parents do? Da, da, da. My mum is quite protective. Tiger mum. Anyway, quite protective. She's fucking scary. Anyway.
I mean, in the business that she works, I'd be fucking.
It's so we're still her babies. We're her babies.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she doesn't. So
my baby. That's what my mum calls me.
So he tells my dad. Ha 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 ha. Me and my brother are traveling home the next day. I get a call from my mum.
Oh no.
Going, who is it? And I'm like, excuse me? Huh? I have a hangover. Take it down. Who is it? Who is it? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who is he going on holiday with? I'm like, I don't fucking know. She's like, well, your father's been giving it fucking Nelly. Like, big. He's giving it big. Giving it Nelly. Giving it big. Anyway. Or is it Welly?
I don't know.
Anyway. So, my dad's in the car, basically. And he just turns to her with the biggest grin on his face, going, I know who he's really going on holiday with.
Oh my god, your dad.
She's like, who is it? He's like, it's not my place to say. She's literally like, you better fucking pull this car over right now. Who's he going on holiday with? He goes, I can't tell you. He told me in confidence. She then calls me on the train while I'm with my brother going, who the fuck is it? I'm like, I don't know. He's not
Oh,
told. He's not
yeah.
told me because you and me are like Tweedledum and Tweedledee. We'll have a drink and fucking the world comes falling out.
Yeah.
And then he looks at me. He's like, he's told her, hasn't he? And I'm like, he hasn't told her, but
She's coming at me.
it's kind of like she's gonna kill him. And then he tells me, and obviously, I tell my mum, and then he gets really upset about that. Anyway,
You have told me this, yes.
I have told you the story. Yeah, he goes, I would appreciate it if I tell you things and you keep them in confidence.
Yeah.
It's actually strengthened our relationship because now he can confide in me and I know. He literally will start the sentence with, don't tell mum.
Don't tell mum.
Don't tell mum!
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Don't
okay.
tell mum!
And I'm like, okay, fine, yeah, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
fair.
But yeah, so that's kind of like how our relationships have like differed a bit.
Yeah. I think I've always gotten along with both my parents because I'm the good kid.
Because I'm the golden child. Yeah.
Um,
You were the easy.
I was the easy
You were
child.
the reason they said let's have more.
Yeah, I was the reason expecting
Same-
they were gonna have. I'm also the medical liability child.
Literally the same
So-
as my brother. They were like, "Oh, he's really good. Let's have another one."
Let's have another one.
And then they stopped.
So my relationship with my parents has been rocky. We've had a little moments, but I think now as I've grown-
every relationship has, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you're lying if it hasn't.
Yeah. But I think now that I'm growing up, I've always been a copy paste of my father. Now I'm really a copy paste of my father. Like, we are the exact same. If we have an issue, we'll be like, yeah, this happened.
No,
and we're not.
I'm the copy paste
I'm-
to my mum.
So my dad, when there's any situation, my dad, my brother, and I, we're like, yeah, chill. But my mum and my sister are they are the same person, and it's annoying because they both have. One of them will have if something happens with my brother, my dad, or I with my mum, she'll give the silent treatment. But I was like, you're gonna fucking listen.
How old are you?
It's ridiculous. But because my sister and my mum are the same, they'd give each other silent treatment, and then they'd tell me, mind you, when shit was really hitting the fan between them two, my sister would call me at like midnight, like 3 a.m. here, sobbing. It's like, can you tell my? I'm like, no.
No.
And I actually told her, I was like, at first when I was like, oh, she's a baby, I was like, and then one summer I was just like, listen,
Yeah.
I am not HR.
Yeah.
Talk to your fucking mother. I'm losing sleep over the fact that, like, you are too stubborn to talk to your mum.
I would actually just quite like to go to bed.
That's what I was like, girl, I want to sleep. Talk to them. And, like, talk to your brother. It's like, he's too young. I was like, well, don't bother me then.
I think,
Sort it out.
interestingly, I think me and my brother are copy paste of both my mum and my dad.
Yeah.
Looks wise as well, but
Yeah.
also we both have qualities of both.
Oh, my brother's a mix of both of them.
I
He's
would
a
say
50-50
mix. Interestingly, as my brother gets older, he's more like my dad, whereas I'm more like my mum. But we definitely have qualities of both, and maybe that's why we get on.
Yeah. I mean, we all get on at the end of the day. We have family road trip in an RV coming up. Stay tuned. We'll update you on that.
Uppy days.
But, like, I think overall we do get along. I think my dad and my sister are the ones who have the most, like, issues.
I think it's just when you're like the same. Favorite memory then?
Favorite memory? I think this is gonna sound so shit. The pandemic, because we were all.
Do you know what?
We were all, like-
it's hilarious. Appreciate, the pandemic was really, really, really difficult for everybody, and there were aspects that were difficult for me. But that first half, girl,
Yeah.
I was having the time of my life.
Yeah.
I was not working and getting paid to not work.
Lucky bitch.
I was exercising every day, going for long walks with my dogs, spending time with my family, which is my favourite thing to do, having home-cooked meals every day. The sun was glorious, though I was outside tanning my arse off.
Yep.
Bliss.
Yeah, I think that's the pandemic with my siblings was actually quite fun because we were like there were times where we wanted to kill each other, but I think because I've been away for 7 years now. I moved out in 2016. At that point, my brother was 12. I essentially missed my entire my brother's childhood or like teenage years.
He was 12 when you moved out.
Yeah,
Whoa, wild.
because I was 17.
Fuck, and he's like in college.
He's 19.
Ugh.
I know. So, like, I essentially missed him becoming a man. And so now that he has developed his own personality, and his own friends. Same with my sister. My
It's like
sister
it's
was,
almost like getting to know somebody again, isn't it?
yeah, and I think that's the pandemic was sort of a blessing in disguise because I was like really sad that I was like going through life by myself and not really thinking about how everyone else, like, I'm missing my grandparents' last few years. I'm missing my cousins going through life without, you know, like, it's always been something I'm very aware of, but I was like, even my own fucking siblings. So I think going back to the pandemic and like having to be locked in really, like, and doing things that we would probably do when we were younger, but as adults, is probably one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
ever.
like everybody being able to drink is so fun. But let
Yeah,
it be
oh my God.
known, because it's just like a sesh with your friends.
Yeah.
Let it be known, all of my family argued during the pandemic. I didn't have a crossword with anyone. Can you believe it? I couldn't.
I couldn't. I
And
can't.
then my mum, do you know what? My mum was hilarious. She was like, yes, but you weren't fucking working and getting paid to not work.
Yeah.
You were fucking living the life of Riley. That's why you didn't argue with anyone. I'm like, different strokes, babe. Like, God, we
Yeah.
can't all be God's favourite.
Yeah, legit.
No, my favourite memory with my brother is very, very funny. So, I don't know if you've seen this video. Basically, it's similar. Like, so during the pandemic, people couldn't go watch football. But people, I think he's like a pundit or something, anyway. He filmed himself watching football. He's like a proper Cockney geezer, anyway. The story will evolve. Just take that. Da-da. Anyway, it's a meme, basically. And the meme is, he's done it again, you fucking little bastard.
Yeah.
Anyway, me and my brother are Marco Corolla. Shout out Marco Corolla, you baldy DJ. Like, literally, it was hilarious. So we were going to see Music On. There was like 3 bald DJs on.
Oh my
and
God.
we did that thing where we like take a film title and put bald in it.
Oh,
so
stop,
we were
yeah,
like
yeah.
we were like the bald identity.
I remember,
Pacific bald.
I remember.
We
this
were like
on the
lock,
group
stock,
chat.
and 2 smoking balds. So we spoke about that joke last week with films and making them dirty. It's universal. You can do it with anything.
Have fun.
Anyway, that's my gift to you guys. Anyway, like, this fucking banger comes on. We're waiting for the drop. And then literally my brother just shouts at the top of his lungs, he's done it again, you fucking little bastard. Literally, I have never laughed so much in my entire life. And then the entire rest of the rave, which, bear in mind, was a long, it was a fucking long, it was like 6-hour rave. The rest of the rave, we're just 2-stepping away, and he'd just show me pictures of bald people on his phone.
Oh, stop
So
it.
we were just raving, and he'd just have a sly little turn, and it'd be like fucking Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh.
Or like, we'd be like 2-step, 2-step, 2-step,
Two-step.
Bruce Willis.
Oh my
2-step,
God.
2-step, 2-step.
That's
Fucking
funny.
another ball guy. That's our favourite memory. And also, it was hilarious, so we were absolutely off our tits, and then literally, he hugs me from behind, he goes, I love you, sis, and I'm like, huh?
Oh.
I'm like, excuse
Affection?
me? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, literally turning around, I'm like, the fuck? I was like, are you okay? And he's like, no. 2-step, 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 Bruce Willis.
Oh God.
2-step, 2-step, 2-step,
He's a-
Shaq.
Oh.
2-step, 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 Judge
And you're
Rinder.
probably off your shit, which only makes it fun.
Honestly, looking at pictures of Judge Rinder while I'm off my tits, to Marco Corolla, who is also bald, I'm like, fuck yeah, come on, legends.
Oh God, I would have loved to witness that.
But the thing is, though, I'll show you the video later because you can hear it. Anyway, the funniest fucking thing is, as well, what was I going to say? No, it's gone now. No, yeah, it was just funny.
Oh,
It's just funny looking at pictures of bald people.
well, that.
No, I was literally going to say, like, a whole full thing.
Well, that's still a very humble moment.
It's a very humble moment. Off your tits to Marco Corolla.
That's funny.
Oh, no, this was the thing. So now that I've told you the thing where you go, oh, he's done it again.
Yeah.
You will find that you will input that into
Anything.
everything. So literally, like, my partner will be like, oh, do you want this for dinner? And I'm like, he's done it again, you fucking little bastard.
Now that you've said that,
Literally.
you do say it quite often.
Yeah, I say it all the fucking time. I can't, like, it's my personality now. Like, literally, they'll be like, oh, this train is delayed. And I'm like, you fucking little bastard, he's done it again! I
Why
just
is it
can't.
you fucking little bastard? who's
No,
done it?
he's done it again, you fucking little bastard. I'll show you the video, and then I'll show you the video of my brother saying it.
Okay, well, that's.
And that's it. So, girls,
That's
gays,
it.
and nays, 2 things that we have given as a gift to you. You can turn a film title into anything. What's another one?
Sibling fights are normal.
Sibling fights are totally normal.
Don't let your
You
mum
know.
gaslight you saying that they.
Oh my god, no, they're so normal, just as long as you kiss and make up later.
Not literally, we don't like
Not
incest
quite
here.
literally, so yeah. And
Unless you're in Alabama. You do.
unless you're cousins. And then just go up, just implement he's done it again, you fucking little bastard,
Bastards.
into everyday life. You're welcome, and we will see you on,
On the next one.
Ta-da!